Let's begin by exploring what ELT, or English language teaching, really involves. Basically, it refers to the systematic study and practice of teaching English to learners who are not native speakers. It's a comprehensive field that brings together several disciplines, including linguistics, pedagogy, psychology, and communication studies. This integration helps us understand not just the language itself, but also how people learn and communicate effectively. A central focus of ELT is the development of 4 essential skills: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. These skills are interconnected and vital for learners to become proficient in English. When we teach, we aim to improve both accuracy, meaning correct grammar and vocabulary, and fluency, which is the ability to communicate smoothly and confidently. Another key point is that ELT isn't just about classroom language. It responds to a wide range of needs, including global communication, academic pursuits, and professional environments. Whether someone wants to travel, study abroad, or advance their career, ELT provides the tools to meet those specific language demands. This broad scope highlights how important and adaptable English teaching is in today's interconnected world. Let's take a look at the historical development of ELT. It all began during the period of colonial expansion, when English started to spread across the globe. This expansion influenced how English was taught in various parts of the world. In the early days, the grammar translation method was dominant. This approach focused heavily on learning rules of grammar and translating texts, which often meant students memorized rules and translated sentences. It was very rule-based and focused on reading and writing. Then came the direct method, which shifted the focus towards spoken language and immersion. This approach emphasized speaking and listening skills, encouraging learners to think and communicate directly in English without translating. Following that, the audiolingual method was introduced. This method emphasized habit formation through repetition and drills, aiming to develop automatic responses to language stimuli. It was very much about practice and reinforcement. Finally, the most recent shift has been toward communicative language teaching. This approach centers on real-life communication, making language learning more practical and relevant to everyday situations. Throughout this development, the focus has continually evolved, reflecting our growing understanding of how people learn languages best. It's a fascinating journey that shows how teaching methods adapt over time to meet learners' needs and contexts. Let's take a closer look at the scope of ELT in the academic context. As you can see, ELT, or English language teaching, plays a vital role across various educational institutions, including schools, colleges, and universities. It's not just about teaching language in isolation. It significantly contributes to curriculum design and syllabus planning, ensuring that language instruction aligns with academic goals. Moreover, ELT supports research in fields like applied linguistics and second language acquisition, helping us understand how students learn languages more effectively. It's also foundational in preparing students for academic writing and scholarly communication, which are essential skills for success in higher education and beyond. Finally, ELT enhances critical thinking through language-based learning, encouraging students to analyze, evaluate, and synthesize information critically. All of these aspects highlight how integral ELT is to fostering academic excellence and supporting research and learning at all levels. It really underscores the importance of language teaching as a cornerstone of academic achievement. Now, let's take a look at the scope of ELT in a professional context. ELT, or English language teaching, opens up a wide range of employment opportunities in both public and private educational institutions. This means you can find teaching roles in government schools, universities, as well as private language academies and international schools. Online ELT platforms have also become increasingly popular, offering global teaching opportunities that weren't as accessible before. This has really expanded the reach of ELT professionals, allowing us to teach students from all over the world right from our own homes. Another important area is ESP, or English for Specific Purposes. This focuses on teaching English tailored to particular fields like business, medicine, or technical areas. It's a specialized but highly in-demand area because professionals in these fields need language skills that are directly applicable to their work. And of course, test preparation is a major segment within ELT. Preparing students for exams like IELTS, TOEFL, or PTE is a vital professional niche. Many students and professionals seek expert guidance to succeed in these tests, making this a rewarding and dynamic area of teaching. Overall, the scope of ELT in the professional world is broad and continually growing, offering diverse opportunities for those of us passionate about teaching and language. Let's take a closer look at the global scope of ELT. As many of you know, English functions as a lingua franca worldwide, especially in business and academic settings. This means it's often the common language people use to communicate across different countries. Because of this, countries all over the world are actively seeking qualified English teachers to meet the growing demand. International certifications like CELTA and TESOL play a crucial role here. They not only improve teaching skills, but also significantly boost career mobility, making it easier for teachers to work in different countries. ELT professionals often find themselves working in multicultural and multilingual environments, which adds both challenges and rich cultural experiences to their careers. Finally, globalization has really amplified the importance of English proficiency. As the world becomes more interconnected, the ability to speak English fluently opens up countless opportunities, both professionally and personally. So, understanding this global scope is essential to grasp the broader impact and significance of ELT today. Let's talk about the academic requirements for ELT professionals. Typically, a BS or MA degree in English, Applied Linguistics, or ELT is required. This educational background provides a strong foundation for effective teaching. Understanding key linguistic concepts like phonetics, phonology, morphology, and syntax is essential, as these form the backbone of language structure and help us explain language patterns clearly. Knowledge of second language acquisition theories is also important because it strengthens our teaching practice by giving us insight into how students learn a new language. Additionally, familiarity with curriculum development and assessment design ensures that our lessons are well structured and that we can accurately measure student progress. Lastly, continuous professional development is crucial. It helps us stay current with best practices and improves our teaching effectiveness over time. All these elements come together to build a well-rounded, effective ELT professional. When it comes to being an effective ELT teacher, there are several essential skills that really make a difference. First, strong verbal and written communication skills are fundamental. This means not only being able to express ideas clearly, but also listening actively and providing understandable feedback. These skills help create a connection with students and ensure they grasp the language concepts. Next, effective classroom management is crucial. It's about creating a positive, organized environment where students feel safe and motivated to learn. Good management helps minimize disruptions and maximizes learning time, making the classroom a productive space for everyone. Lesson planning is another key skill. Well-structured lessons with clear objectives and outcomes keep your teaching focused and ensure students know what they're working towards. It also helps in adapting your teaching to meet different learners' needs. Assessment literacy is equally important. Being able to design fair and constructive assessments allows you to evaluate students' progress accurately. It also provides valuable feedback that guides their learning journey. Finally, digital literacy is becoming increasingly vital in our modern classrooms. Integrating technology effectively can enhance engagement and provide diverse learning opportunities. As ELT teachers, developing these digital skills helps us stay current and make our lessons more dynamic. All of these skills come together to support the overall goal of effective teaching, helping students succeed in their language learning journey. Let's take a closer look at some of the major ELT approaches and methods. First up is the grammar translation method. This approach focuses heavily on rules of grammar and literary texts, which means students often translate texts and analyze sentence structures. It's very traditional and emphasizes reading and writing skills. Next is the direct method, which promotes learning through speaking and listening. Instead of translating, students are encouraged to use the language in real-life contexts, developing their speaking skills naturally. It's more immersive and less focused on grammar rules. Then we have the audiolingual method, which relies on repetition and drills. The idea here is habit formation. Students repeat patterns until they become automatic. It's quite structured and aims to build language habits through practice. Moving on, we see communicative language teaching. This approach emphasizes meaningful interaction. The goal is for students to use language practically, engaging in conversations and real-world communication, making learning more relevant and engaging. Finally, we have task-based language teaching, which centers on completing real-world tasks. Instead of just focusing on language forms, students use the language to accomplish specific goals, like planning a trip or solving a problem, which helps develop practical language skills. All these methods reflect different philosophies about how people best learn a language, and understanding them helps us choose the right approach for different learning contexts. Let's explore some of the most current ELT practices that are shaping effective language teaching today. First, we have blended learning, which combines face-to-face instruction with online activities. This approach offers flexibility and allows students to engage with content in different ways. Next, flipped classrooms encourage students to review materials before class, so classroom time can be dedicated to more interactive and practical activities. Technology integration is also key. Using multimedia, apps, and AI tools can make lessons more engaging and personalized. Collaborative learning is another important practice, as it promotes peer interaction and communication, helping students develop social and language skills simultaneously. Finally, student-centered learning focuses on increasing engagement and autonomy, giving learners more control over their progress. All these practices connect back to the overall goal of making language learning more dynamic, effective, and responsive to students' needs. Let's talk about some effective classroom practices in ELT that really make a difference. First, role plays and simulations are fantastic tools for building speaking confidence. When students act out real-life situations, they become more comfortable using the language in practical contexts. Next, group discussions are great for encouraging critical thinking and helping students develop fluency. They learn to express their ideas clearly and listen actively to others. Using authentic materials, like real newspapers, menus, or videos, exposes learners to language as it's actually used in the real world, which boosts their comprehension and cultural understanding. Interactive activities, such as games or debates, increase motivation and make learning more engaging, encouraging students to participate actively. And finally, error correction strategies are important. They help us strike a balance between fluency and accuracy. Offering constructive feedback without disrupting the flow keeps students motivated and supports steady improvement. These practices, when integrated thoughtfully, really enhance the overall effectiveness of our teaching and help our learners become confident, fluent users of English. Let's talk about assessment in English language teaching. First, we have formative assessment, which is all about monitoring ongoing learning progress. It's like a continuous check-in to see how students are doing and to identify areas where they might need more support. Then, there's summative assessment, which evaluates what students have achieved at the end of a course or a unit. It's more of a final measure of their overall learning. Next, I want to highlight the importance of rubrics. They provide clear evaluation criteria, so both teachers and students understand exactly what's expected and how performance will be judged. This clarity helps ensure fairness and transparency in assessment. We also have performance-based assessments. These are designed to measure practical language use, so how students actually apply their skills in real-life situations. It's a more authentic way to see their abilities beyond traditional tests. Finally, constructive feedback plays a crucial role. It supports learner improvement by guiding students on what they're doing well and where they can grow. When combined, These assessment strategies help create a comprehensive picture of a learner's progress while fostering continuous development. Now, let's look at some of the common challenges faced in ELT. One major issue is that large classrooms often limit the amount of individual attention each student can receive. This can make it difficult to address specific needs or misunderstandings promptly. Another challenge is dealing with mixed ability learners. In a single classroom, students might have varying levels of language proficiency, which requires us to use differentiated instruction to meet everyone's needs effectively. Limited resources also pose a significant obstacle. When teaching materials or technological tools are scarce, it can impact the overall quality of instruction and student engagement. Additionally, mother tongue interference is a common issue. Students often transfer pronunciation, grammar, or vocabulary from their native language, which can hinder their progress in acquiring the new language. Finally, motivational issues can arise, leading to reduced student participation. If students aren't motivated or engaged, it becomes much harder to promote active learning and language acquisition. Understanding these challenges helps us develop better strategies to overcome them and improve our teaching effectiveness. The role of the ELT teacher is really about being a facilitator rather than just a lecturer. This means encouraging students to take an active part in their own learning process. It's about creating a space where learners feel motivated and confident to communicate in the target language. In our classrooms, it's essential to be inclusive and culturally sensitive, making sure every student feels valued and respected. This helps build a positive learning environment where everyone is comfortable to participate. Additionally, we design engaging and meaningful experiences that resonate with students, interests, and real-life contexts. This not only keeps their motivation high, but also helps them see the practical value of what they're learning. Finally, guiding students toward autonomous learning is key. We want to equip them with the skills and confidence to continue their language journey independently, long after the classroom sessions end. All of these points tie back to our overall goal: fostering learners who are confident, autonomous, and capable of using English effectively in diverse situations. So, to wrap things up, ELT, or English language teaching, truly has a broad scope that spans across academic, professional, and even global contexts. It's not just about teaching language, it's about opening doors to international communication and opportunities. Of course, to be effective in this field, strong qualifications are essential, along with solid pedagogical knowledge and practical skills. You need to understand how learners acquire language and be able to apply that knowledge practically in the classroom. Modern ELT emphasizes the importance of communication, helping students use English confidently in real-life situations, while also integrating technology to make learning more engaging and accessible. Learner autonomy is another key focus, encouraging students to take charge of their own language development. And of course, continuous professional development is vital. As educators, we need to keep updating our skills and knowledge to stay effective and relevant. Overall, ELT remains a dynamic and evolving academic discipline, constantly adapting to new trends, technologies, and research. It's a field that requires dedication, but also offers endless opportunities to make a meaningful impact. Thank you so much for your time and attention today. I really appreciate your engagement throughout the presentation. If there's one thing to take away, it's that the ideas we've discussed can truly make a difference in how we approach our work and our goals. Remember, the key points, whether it's the importance of innovation, collaboration, or strategic planning, are all about driving positive change. I hope you found this session insightful and inspiring. Again, thank you for being here and for your commitment to continuous improvement. I look forward to seeing how you apply these concepts in your own contexts. Thanks once more, and have a great day.